Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your good friend Matt. We are back again here today, finally, at the only place that we always can be, and that is Matt's Wrestling Collectibles right here on YouTube. It has been quite some time since we've done an actual full-length or full-style video. Been throwing a lot of shorts out there, a lot of clips, a lot of good content. Of course, I always appreciate you guys viewing, commenting, sharing, all that great stuff. But we are here today with, again, another episode of new figure pickups. This is episode 103, and it is crazy to think, right? We're finally past that 100th episode. Here we are, 3 into the new climb to that next mark of episode 200. A long way away, but we're going to have fun here today with it. We definitely want to do this one because I've had some stuff coming in. I have not done one of these in a few weeks, I think. Probably about that, roughly, maybe 2-3 weeks. So I have not done one of these videos. I got a nice little stack of stuff next to me here. I've got another stack of other stuff that is also waiting for episode 104, and by the time that I get around to that, we'll probably already be ready for episode 105. So let's get right into this. Let's have some fun, and let's start off with everything that's not WWE in this video. So first thing first, here we are going to show off this cool 3D printed Tommy gun. I wound up getting this off of eBay. I'm going to have it painted very soon, and finally we can complete that John Cena WrestleMania 22 figure. And let me give one more good look at this up here so everybody can get a nice look. You guys can go and find these probably just about anywhere that's 3D printing stuff if you don't already do it yourself, but a very cool piece there. And I also do want to show this off. I mainly was actually, in search of that Tommy gun for the Cena figure, but we also did get a nice little handgun here, a little pistol piece with some firepower explosion, coming out of the barrel there. You can put that on there as well, but I figured maybe this could be a possible cool little add-on for maybe somebody else. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see where that fits in at some point, but grab that as well. And up next here, we're going to start it off with the figures. And you know what? There's always that question that people would be asking, and it would be, who would that be? Who would the first person be in this video? Well, who else but Kanyon? And of course, that means we got Chris Kanyon here coming out of the WCW Power Slam Wrestler series. Very cool figure here. I had this as a young kid, probably like 4 or 5 years old, maybe I was 6. I might have been about 6 years old, first grade, second grade, somewhere in there. And yeah, I'll tell you what, this was a cool one back in the day. I always thought it was such an odd figure because it was the only one in my collection that didn't look like any of the other ones because, as a kid, being that young, I didn't understand how toys worked and how companies worked. I always thought like all the wrestling that I watched was all tied together somehow when I was, very young. But, of course, we've got a really cool throwback piece here, and I got a wicked steal on this. Very good price, and excited to add this to the collection. I really needed a Kanyon figure. As far as it goes for figures of him, I am not sure how many others were made, if any. I'd have to really go back and look. I did take quite the time to look through what was available, what was shown, but I think this might have been the only one. And as we go through this video, guys, I figured I'd let you know my house is getting a little renovation work done over here today. So if you hear some banging, if you hear some thuds, it is what it is. We're getting through it on this one. It was the time for me to be able to record this. So here we go. But Power Slam, Kanyon, WCW, how cool is that? What a throwback and what an exciting piece to add to the collection. Up next, we're going to jump into the only AEW figure we have here, and that is none other than Kenny Omega. And this Kenny Omega figure, I did not pay anywhere near $30 for it, that's for sure, but I've been wanting to add a couple others of his to the collection. I don't have this attire. I think this is now like maybe my 5th or 6th Kenny Omega, or is it my 6th or 7th? I don't know, 6, 7, be careful out there. I'll tell you, I can't get going on that. Oh, that's another story for another day. But Kenny Omega, looking great here coming out of the AEW Unmatched line, and I really do like the attire on this one. Like I said, very cool. I can't remember exactly when he wore this. What do we got here? All Out, Jacksonville, Florida, 2020. That's what it was. I knew it was definitely a pay-per-view. I remember when he debuted this look, this attire. So very cool though, very cool. Always love to add another Kenny Omega to the collection. And actually, as I think about it now, that actually might be closer to like 8 or 9 or maybe even 10 Omegas that I have now that I start to really think about all the ones that are in there that you forget about, like the Street Fighter crossover Omega, the Blood and Guts with John Moxley, the exploding barbed wire deathmatch one there, and a couple others, you know, the ROH rookie almost Kenny Omega. So when I started to think about what I have there, plus the other ones, it might be closer to 10, which is crazy. Up next, we got one that's been sitting. I've been waiting and waiting for this video to finally get going, and obviously for me to, you know, get up and take the time to do this and get it going, but I've been wanting to review these, and here they are. As I pull this piece off the front, we've got none other than the regimen or regime. I don't know how some people word it differently, but we've got Henry O. Godwin and, of course, Phineas I. Godwin, Hog and Pig for short. Very, very cool set here, and this comes from Hassel Toy, and I'm just so excited to finally add something from them to the collection. I think we've already got the, pretty sure we've already got the Raven and Ahmed Johnson pre-ordered, so we'll be waiting on those. And I think there's also something else that's coming very soon. I can't remember, but I'm excited. I'm very excited for Hassel Toy and all the stuff that they're doing. I think these are incredible. I have not opened them. You can go and check out probably a few different people, but one of my favorites, of course, check out Kyle Peterson if you're not already following him on YouTube. He has a full unboxing and review on these. I don't know if I will ever take these off the card, maybe someday, but very, very cool figures. I think they did a good job. I'm sure there's, you know, some critiques that we can go over at some point, but very cool packaging. Come around to the back here, and got the stats back there. Really cool, you know, really, really cool figures, and I think they did a great job on these, and it is so cool to have these modern, because the only other figures I think you could have got style-wise of these would have been, I think, either like the Bone Crunching Action WWF figures or something around that time. I obviously remember these being in my collection back in the day and having like similar attires, but, you know, way different as far as the quality of the figures, of course, you know, going back to 99, 2000. So, but very cool here. And also, before we pass on and keep going, I do want to read what was stuck to the front of this. This came with these figures. And of course, important notice, please read. Thank you for your purchase and supporting our new, you know, like I said, I don't know how you say it, regime, whatever line of figures. Figure hands are snug in the wrist holes for the best results when purchasing the hands. Please carefully warm the hands and wrists with a hairdryer. This will loosen the pegs, holes, etc., and will make them easier to change. Now, Kyle Peterson did go over that, and he did say that he thought they were fine. They came right out pretty easy from what I remember from the video. So, who knows? I guess that'll all be just possibly. It could happen. It may not. I'm sure there's a few that maybe have a quality control issue. But of course, this is, you know, big for a, I don't want to say small time toy company. That's not, you know, the way that I'd want to word it, but it's not Mattel. It's not Jazzwares. It's, you know, this is something that's on a smaller scale. So, of course, there might be little things that get figured out or worked out over time, but I wish them all the best over at Hassel Toy, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. Like I said, waiting for the Raven, waiting for that Ahmed Johnson, and I think there was a few others that were discussed or talked about, so I can't wait to see those when they finally come to fruition. So, as we move on here, let's jump in to the WWE side of things here. We're going to start it right off with none other than Austin Theory coming out of Elite Series 121. As we look right up here to this top corner right there, we've got the Grayson Waller and now the Austin Theory that complete that tag team set, not only with the tag team championships, but also as well, they are the matching attires from WrestleMania. I think it was this 40 or 41? Let's see here. 40, right? Yep, WrestleMania 40. Very, very cool. But like I said, these are awesome. awesome figures. Love the attire. Love that we have a matching attire for them and a tag team set. And it's really funny because I was just saying it to the one of my friends the other day. I said, it is so crazy how sometimes you'll get a figure in your collection more times than you would have ever expected. I have the original Austin Theory Elite. I was not able to get the Chase, which I actually wanted, so it would be even crazier to think if I did have the Chase. But this makes now 4 Austin Theory figures in the collection. If I had that Chase, I'd have 5. It's always crazy to me when I have more than like 2 or 3 of somebody, because if I do, then either they've had a great career or multiple gimmicks or attires or whatever. There's a laundry list of things that could go into it, but great figures nonetheless, and always love to get, like I said, a new attire or extra little goods that come with stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like this being that matching tag team attire with Waller. I just think it's nice to see. And as always, by the time we always get this stuff in our hands, it's like they're already broken up. I don't know. I think that's just been like the running joke. It always seems to be, when we finally get a tag team or something, they're no longer together. So, but very cool Austin Theory here. I cannot wait to see what goes on with him moving forward. Obviously now with the Vision and all this other stuff, and who knows if Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are finally going to have their payoff, which I think just never happened, and it really would be nice to see with all the stuff that was going back and forth with them for a while. So either way, we'll see what happens there. But as we move forward, we've got some more throwbacks here too. I mean, that Austin Theory, obviously a new one, but going back to that WCW Chris Kanyon, and even that Kenny Omega is a little bit of a throwback. We're going back quite some ways here, all the way to Elite 86 SummerSlam, branded edition here, and it is none other than The Miz. And this Miz, again, as I just said this about Austin Theory, The Miz is somebody who I grew up on, and I've always been a fan of The Miz in, one way or another. I've always expected him to, actually do a lot more, honestly, with just how loyal, how devoted, how much of a perfectionist he has been to his craft over the years. And I think he's a great performer. I think he's a great wrestler. I think he's done a lot of actually great moments throughout his career. A lot of things that you could probably list off if you go back and think about it. But this figure here, I did want to get this style attire. He also has another version of this where he is in a red coat jacket. But that one was I don't know, I guess just a little bit more far and few between for me to find, and this was more available. I would love for them to do one of these where he had that lime green coat. I think that would be really cool. But now we have the Ruthless Aggression Miz, which was kind of similar to his Elite 3 Miz, but definitely an upgrade for sure. But we do have that Ruthless Aggression Miz. We also have his Greatest Hits WrestleMania, I think it was 27 or WrestleMania 28, throwback where he's got the brownish gold attire and the spinner belt. We've got him in the 3-pack with R-Truth and Triple H and the new tag titles. We do now have this one here. So again, very nice to add different spots of careers in figure form to the collection. Having him as, a young star to his first real, title that he got as far as major world title. And then having this version of him here with this coat going into the newer, more modern style with him and R-Truth and the tag titles. I mean, it's very cool. And The Miz has had a great career, so I love to be able to go back and collect those in figure form. And I can't wait to see what else we get for and from The Miz. Up next, we are going to, what do we want to do here? Do we want to keep it with the throwbacks? Let's keep it with the throwbacks. So originally I was going to get this as the Greatest Hits, but I found the original. I don't know if the person just mislisted it, but crazy price, way lower than any of the ones that were the same or even the Greatest Hits. And that is none other than Batista and Blue-Tista, if you will. This is a cool figure. I had this originally when it came out, when it was originally released. So crazy to think, going back to Series 33. And now, we're almost on the way to 100 series past this point. But he did have his Greatest Hits version. Very cool figure still. But I was more so, like I said, I'm more so about getting the original if I can. So with that being said, we did get this Batista here, and I really do love this figure. I think it's cool. Like I said, point of a career for Batista, you know, having him come in very like rookie style, even though he was well past being a rookie in my opinion at that point, but still rookie style, still fresh. The Evolution days, the early world title days, you know, the Animal run throughout time later, and then this Batista run. I mean, you know, all the way up till his final match at WrestleMania with Triple H there. But a very cool figure nonetheless. I do love this one a lot, and I'm looking to add a few more Batistas to the collection, because the same thing again, I mean, right now, I'd have to go and look, but I probably have somewhere around like 7, maybe 8 Batistas, so a couple more I think that I really would like to add, and then can kind of slow down on it unless they, you know, produce or come out with something that's drastically different. So, and as I've said to you guys before, you know, that whole one and done thing, and for some people it can be that easy, of course not all, but I always like to have kind of a you know, an idea of where I'd be at as far as how deep do I want to go into collecting on just one singular person. But Batista, a big part of my childhood, a big part of my wrestling days growing up. So excited to add this one back, and even more excited that it is the original from Elite Series 33. As we move forward here, let's go into the newest Elite that we have, and that is none other than the Monday Night Wars Brian Pillman. And I'll tell you what, this is a phenomenal figure. I think they did a fantastic job. I think they captured Pillman's likeness and just the type of person he is in that facial scan, that expression that he has. I love that it's got that, you know, heart foundation underlying on it, and it could also be, you know, not that if you wanted to open it and switch it around. So that's very cool. Maybe at some point I will open this to do a review as well as get those Build-A-Figure parts out. But this Brian Pillman is such a cool figure. And finally, I add one more of this set to possibly be completed. We now have the Pillman. We have the Eric Bischoff. We still need the Shark and possibly the Shark Chase. And we definitely need that Undertaker. That Undertaker is a super cool one to add to the collection. And Undertaker, another one, you know, when it comes to probably, like I would say, in my top 10, he's definitely in there as well, as far as, you know, people that I like to collect for different attires, different looks. And the Undertaker has many, as crazy as that can sound at times, because we look at the Undertaker and it's been a very similar, you know, career in a lot of what he portrayed, but it is wild to think how many different, you know, forms in action figure form, I should say, that you can get, that you can have in your collection for Taker. So very, very cool. But Brian Pillman here, the Monday Night Wars, the Build-A-Figure is Michael Cole. I can't wait to complete this one. All right, up next, it is our one and only Ultimate Edition in this video, and it is certainly one that I would say is just happy to have this. You know, we're talking about people that we collect and attires, and this would be an honorable mention if I had to make a list, because I do have quite a few of these already, or quite a few of him in the collection, and it is none other than the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle coming out here with his, you know, double title, early days, early run in the company, Intercontinental and European champion. A great figure, a great attire. And again, I mean, how cool is this to add to the collection? Just something that I think a lot of people have been, you know, looking for. A lot of people have been wanting to see something like this, and we now have it in our hands. And I gotta say, it's always nice to get ultimates that feel like they truly are ultimate, you know. And I say this all the time with certain figures. It just doesn't feel like maybe at times we get enough with some of them, but I know it's because they give a little bit more to one and maybe retract some from the other. But as we look here, I mean, this Kurt Angle, how do you go wrong? You get 2 extra head sculpts. You get 2 gold medal, you know, necklaces or award necklaces. You also get 2 championships, and you get 3 sets of hands. I believe it's 3 sets. Is 3 or 2? 2 sets of hands. I'm sorry. But either way, even at that, I mean, it's quite the ultimate. It really is, because there's times where we'll get an Ultimate Edition and I'm like, all right, so the figure has like 1 minor accessory and an extra head and an extra set of hands. And I'm like, I mean, you know, minus like maybe 1 thing out of this, and we're looking at an Elite. So it is what it is. But again, we get so much with certain figures that sometimes it can be tough. I mean, even like the Stone Cold that's right up on the wall in front of us right here. I mean, you know, he comes with a jersey, he comes with a watch, he comes with a microphone, he comes with a hat, he comes with 2 sets of hands. You know, so when you look at something like that, you're like, wow, I mean, that's a lot with an Elite, and you expect to get a little bit more with that Ultimate Edition, especially at the price point now, guys. I mean, and I'm going to make a video about this going forward. I'm not going to go too much into it, but even with stuff that I'm doing, you know, even for the store, prices have to go up, unfortunately. I mean, an Ultimate Edition is no longer under $35 with tax. It's now pushing $40 with tax. So by the time you buy these figures and you turn around to say, hey, you know, I'd want to sell something, or I'd trade you this, or whatever it may be, the price is just getting a little high for things to make sense anymore. And I guess we'll have to see how the future plays out, how long we stay at this price point, but potentially it could change. And if it does, you know, we'll talk about it then. We'll figure it out as we always do. But either way, you know, pushing 40 bucks. This is a cool figure. I'm really happy to add it to the collection, and I hope that we see more amazing Kurt Angle figures in the near future. All right, guys, last and definitely last, that is what it's going to be here. It is the one that I save until the end, the one that I think is the best, the one that I would claim is the coolest piece of the video, and that could be debatable on this one, but I did save this one for last, and for good reason, because finally, this time, it actually is the figures. We've got the New Day Booty-O's Elite 3-pack. How cool is this? And definitely cool this time, because the last time that I ordered this, I ordered on eBay a Elite 3-pack of the New Day Booty-O's, and I received the box of cereal. So that was not fun, but we figured that all out, and thankfully that was able to be fixed and corrected, but either way, no big deal. It was my own fault. It was an oversight. Obviously, this package here is different from the cereal package. So if you are unaware, make sure that you definitely are checking that when you go to purchase these. And of course, how cool is this? Let's get into it. Let's talk about why this one was the one for me. And that is basically very simple here. I already have Big E. I already have Kofi. I already have Xavier. We have a few of each, actually. I think I have, if not two, I think two Elites of each of these guys already in singles boxes or singles packaging. So with this, it's very, very easy. I wanted to get a set of the New Day, and as you guys can see here, we got the rainbow drop there, and we've got the New Day in here. Let's get this nice and close to the camera so we can see that. And as you can see, as unfortunately Xavier is getting shadowed out over here, but we got a little sticker on there too. Might have to get that off soon. We'll have to peel that off after this video. I didn't even realize that was on there. But I did want to get a set of the New Day that was all in matching attire, and I thought this was really cool. You know, it's from WrestleMania. It's definitely an iconic moment all the way around for them, and I was excited to add this one into the collection. I definitely would be in the hunt for some New Day figures still in the future. I'd like to see an upgraded Kofi and Xavier with their new run, their new look. I think that would be really cool, and I'd like to see that. Like I said, very, very soon in the near future, I think we'll probably see something like that being announced or talked about come the WrestleMania reveals at WrestleMania weekend. But again, this is very cool here. The black and gold. We've got Big E, Kofi, Xavier. We've got the trumpet. We've got the unicorn horns on the heads of two. Kind of weird that they didn't put that on Xavier, but I've checked on multiple spots, and apparently it is only the two. So who knows? Maybe I'll go on eBay, see if I can find myself another one of those unicorn horns and figure out a way to get it on that Xavier. But a super cool box set, one that I have been looking forward to adding to the collection, and it is finally here, so I'm excited for this. And as always, guys, this is the end of another new figure pickups video, episode 103. If you've been with me for 102 previous episodes, I appreciate you oh so much. If this is your first time here today, well, I appreciate that as well. And I'd love for you to get over to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon if you want to see and hear from me each and every single day, because no matter whether it's a short, a clip, a fig hunt, a new fig pickups video, it doesn't matter what it may be, we're dropping a new video every single day here on the channel. So make sure you hit that bell icon if you want to see me every single day. You might even want to go see a doctor too, because if you want to see me every single day, you know, some people may see, you know, they may think you want to seek some legal help, some, you know, mental help. I don't know. You might want to seek some type of help, because if you want to see and hear from me every day, then hey, I don't know. But hey, at the end of it all, guys, all jokes aside, I do appreciate it all. I appreciate all the support, all the feedback, the comments, everything. So, as always, guys, until the next video, thank you so much for being here again, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.